Well, hello there. I see that you're really interested in my really big chest.
Well, which chest are you talking about?
This chest.
This chest?
This chest. Would you like to touch my really big chest?
Sure, why
There's
not?
free candy.
Well,
Why
I'm
do you
slightly less interested now, but sure.
If you would like some free candy, all you have to do is knock on my really big chest.
Well, here it goes.
Alright, I have some free candy for you.
Oh, shit. Oh, shit! No.
Yep, so there's your free candy. They only go for little kids.
Alright, let's just say that was a bit sus, but, you know, the entire AFA chest thing was a bit sus.
It's okay. With that said, before we actually start with our main content, I just want to say that first, I'm blind, and secondly, I am not a vet, and neither am I a doctor. I am in fact an assassin.
Welcome back, Ed.
Yes, Ben.
Well, there was someone claiming to be an assassin here just now, but I see that they have left.
Absolutely not. Absolutely nothing has changed.
Alright, what are we here for today?
Well, it is post AFA. It is now currently the... What day is it, man?
It is a Monday, the 28th.
It is the 28th of November.
Yeah.
And we're filming this after I drank about 3 beers yesterday and had about 2 shots of whiskey.
During the convention itself.
During the convention itself.
Yep, I remember. Well, the only reason why we didn't do it yesterday was because I had a test today.
Ah, yes. A test.
Exactly. You know, gotta set your priorities straight. We do things right here at Whiskies and Weeps, you know, study on the day of the test itself. Don't do this, kids. But
no, we're university students. This is part of a course.
yeah, this is part of the regular university students course. And you know, as a year 4 student, there's not much to really give a shit about.
Well, aside from our identities as students, when we talk a bit of the identities of the characters that we're cosplaying.
Oh shit.
Yeah, because apparently I have been, well, for lack of a better term, misidentified.
Yeah.
Do you even know, like, what's the name of my characters that I've been cosplaying over the past 2 days, 3 days?
I only know that one of them was called Jackie Lee for some reason.
Oh my, Jackie Lee. Yes,
Jackie
the combination of Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee.
What an amazing character indeed. And the other one was from some manga called Sakamoto Days that you can't stop sharing about.
I literally
Yeah.
brought Volume 4 along to prove my identity to everyone who was willing to ask.
I wonder why no one will recognize.
Well, it is a pretty much new Weekly Shonen Jump manga. That's it. I was cosplaying as Slur. The character's like name inside the manga is just X.
Wait, what?
But people call him Slur. And his real character's name, major spoiler alert, somewhere around chapter 53, is Uzuki. And for day 3, where I was, well, without my lab coat and no one could recognize me anymore, I was cosplaying as Shen Oolong, the connector. Fun fact, do you know that the oolong in Shen Oolong, the connector, is the same oolong in oolong tea?
Oh shit. Really?
Yeah, really.
Why that name then?
I don't know. You have to wait for maybe another 100 more chapters and we might get a bit of the history of Shen Oolong, the connector. The biggest meme of Kengan.
Sounds like you'll have to fill me in on that when it actually reaches there.
Yes, of course. Well, we have already talked about Kengan quite a fair bit on this podcast here. We've had the entire cake episode. I almost said chapter because we're talking about manga. One thing I want to add, right, with regards to my Jackie Lee Shen Oolong the connector cosplay was that actually one person recognized who I was cosplaying.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was one guy dressed as a maid, who walked up to me and was like, "Hey, you're the guy who is Shen Oolong, the connector."
Are you sure it's not just because of the sign that you were holding the entire way?
I don't know. Maybe it was. Maybe it isn't.
No, who knows?
This person is a man of culture anyway, so shout out to that guy. He would have made a very good companion to me, considering that inside the manga, Shen Oolong, the connector, is always followed around by one fanboy or another. And given that this guy's a maid, I think he'll fill the role perfectly fine.
Sounds about right.
With that said, Ben, why don't you tell us a bit more about that massive chest that we were hiding in?
Oh, I thought you were talking about that massive chest at the start.
No, I'm talking about that massive chest, the one that's been chopped up, disassembled, and left outside the room.
Right, that massive chest. Well, that is a long story, man. So, I actually started cosplaying a while back, about before this COVID situation happened, and I went to AFA 2 or 3 times in a costume, and I think you know which costume it is.
Yes,
Care to say it
very
fast?
punchable tube man.
God damn it! It's not a punchable tube man. It's a wacky whippy inflatable flailing arm tube man.
Yes.
Yes. So, yeah. So that is where the beginnings of the idea for the very big chest came from.
Yes. You sure it wasn't from like Dragon Quest?
Oh no, I mean there is the character of the mimic itself, and then there was the inspiration behind it, and I guess like, you know, part of the reason why a mimic specifically is that it's something that hides my identity. Like you can't see my face in the chest, and partly because it is troll as heck.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess that considering that I didn't have the mask on, I could act as the innocent victim being eaten by the mimic.
Yeah, no one wanted to pull my hand up when I shouted for help, so that backfired. Well, anyways, yeah. So I was
Well,
there.
Ben,
as-
one thing I have to say first is who would be so foolish as to reach their hands into a mimic?
Well, you'd be surprised. So many victims. So many
fools.
victims.
If that's it, I think I cut you off. What were you about to say?
Oh yeah, so the idea of the mimic being something that is able to hide my identity and something that is gimmicky, fun,
Very true.
something out of the norm for your cosplayers at AFA.
Well, there were a lot of people who said that this was quite the ingenious, innovative solution to cosplay. So
Exactly, and it works perfectly well for someone who has no skill as a cosplayer, such as myself.
speaking of skill, how did this really big chest come about? Considering I came in about 10% of the way in its completion.
So yeah, about that. The idea for the mimic actually started before COVID hit, and then I lost motivation during COVID.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And then I once again overestimated how much motivation I had to complete the chest.
Then you should watch the previous episode, which is about anime, alcohol, and motivation to find out
Indeed.
more.
I should have, but then, I lost interest.
It was a bit
I
too
lost
late.
motivation. But yeah, motivation. Well, I had the general outline of what the chest should look like. I mean, it's a chest. What else is there? you know?
Well, looks can be deceiving. Why don't you share a bit more of the materials that went into it?
Looks were indeed deceiving. Well, initially I had a whole bunch of metal parts, metal bars, L bars,
Bars is an overstatement. They're more like really thin sheets.
really thin L-shaped, I guess, aluminum parts that, yeah, surprisingly were not steady. Sturdy.
Surprisingly.
Surprised me, definitely.
Yeah, at least the fact that they weren't sturdy allowed you punch holes in them.
Yeah.
Except you
That
didn't
was
consider the
necessary.
direction of the holes being punched. They were
Nor
poking
did I.
out.
Nor did I think about having to file them down. But that's besides the point.
Yes.
Yeah, there were so many things that went wrong with the costume, such as the back straps.
The back straps. Don't let me get started on that.
Well,
Rather than the back straps, let's talk about something that I was actually wondering really, really hard during the engineering process, which was the lid.
yeah, the lid. What about the lid?
Yeah, hinges, punctured holes, and a really big lid that we had to chop metal up
Yeah.
for.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you share a bit more on your thought process behind that?
Well, to be fair, I had no idea how I would go about getting the curve for the lid. But, we got it done by chopping up some metal at angles and bending them.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Without your expertise in crafting, I guess I wouldn't be able to finagle a lid. The holes and the hinges being where they were, I shall leave that up to the fact that I am not very good at planning.
Yes.
Yes.
Fail to plan, plan to fail.
Something about holes being punched inaccurately, the freaking the freaking hinges being attached diagonally to an extent, and then having to zip tie them down.
Yes, zip ties.
doesn't really make for a very good lid.
Yeah.
But it worked. It survived, I guess. So
I think the corrugated board they used to make like the entire chest flat pieces, I guess. It's quite a good touch. Pretty sturdy.
Yeah.
It didn't bend. The only thing that bent was the metal.
Surprisingly more sturdy than the metal.
Yeah. With that said, I think that's enough talking about our engineering or lack thereof. Why don't we go into our whiskey that we're having today?
Yes, so what we have here today is a 2.7 liter bottle of whiskey.
2.7 liters.
Yes, you didn't hear that wrong. 2.7 liters of Suntory Tory's classic whiskey.
Yep. Care to share a bit more about it if you know anything, because I don't know jack shit.
Yeah, neither do I. I apparently can't find any information of it online. Perhaps someone could put it into a comment, but
Besides that, reading off it, it says that we won't have to expect any smoky flavors, and we can expect the flavor that I'm looking forward to a bit more, which is sweet flavors. I'm also looking forward to seeing how it will smell, given that we have our nosing glasses over here. Why don't we get to cracking this open and pouring ourselves a cold one?
Sure. So how much are we planning to finish today? The entire bottle?
Only you are going to drink the entire bottle. I am drinking
Right.
human amounts.
Well, let's hope that I survive this episode. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to finish it.
Yes. Alright. Crack it.
So, as you can tell, it looks like a freaking bottle of oil, and I am very afraid of
It looks like oolong tea.
a gigantic pet bottle. You know what? I'm just going to hold a glass because this is unwieldy to say the least.
Don't overpour.
Good enough. It is very unwieldy.
Yes. Oh, pour yourself a little extra, I see.
Yeah. Gotta get myself a bit drunk after today's test.
If that's it, why don't we get to trying our Tory's classic?
Yeah.
Cheers. I see you jumped the gun and just went straight to drinking. You're supposed to smell it first.
It smelled like nail polish to me.
No, it smells like very weak honey to me.
I can only smell nail polish.
Really?
Yeah. More like nail polish remover. Very strong alcohol smell.
It smells so weak. Are you sure?
Nail polish remover, kind of, that.
Wow, it smells weak and it tastes weak.
Yeah, definitely. It tastes a bit weak.
Yeah, as promised, there's absolutely no smoky taste to this. If anything, I'm struggling to find like this very weak flavor of sweetness that I'm supposed to be getting.
It is very mild, but it has a somewhat thicker texture, I guess. Maybe that's because it's chilled, but very, very mild sweetness.
Okay, I'm getting very, very light apple flavor.
I can only taste the honey.
Oh, this could almost deceive me. I think if I didn't know any better, I would say that this is like meat, some really weak meat, or even tea itself.
Well, it does look like a bottle of oolong tea. I'm pretty sure it could fool some people into thinking it's oolong tea.
Yeah.
Spicy oolong tea.
With that said, having it neat, somewhat disappointing.
Well, with a 2.7 liter bottle, I guess, can't expect too much. Something you would drink in bulk.
Well, let's see if drinking this on the rocks and with mixers today is going to make it any better.
Yep, hopefully.
Yes, we have some sweeter mixers in view today.
Now let's find out what they are later.
Yep. And that's it for our neat review of the Suntory Tory's Classic.
So Ed, just a fun factoid.
Yeah.
So apparently anything under 40% alcohol can't be considered whiskey in the EU. And what we have here is 37%.
Well, it is very much weak sauce. Weak smell, weak taste.
Just weak. So weak.
Yeah. Compared to the size of the bottle, which makes it look like a really unwieldy, dangerous club. The contents inside really pale in comparison.
Well, I mean, makes sense. It's a freaking meme, I guess. That's why it's a meme.
Yeah, even then, it should still be a decent whiskey, right? Even if it's a meme.
Well, what can you do, I guess?
Speaking of memes, let's go back talking about anime, or rather, the Anime Festival Asia.
Yeah.
So
many memes.
so many memes,
So many memes.
but
indeed.
we are the best.
We are the best.
We are the best. Are we the best?
Contestable, I guess.
I don't know. I guess what I can say is that the place was very crowded. There were quite a fair number of memes. I think we'll go into that a bit later.
Yeah.
Cause we're still on the topic of the mimic that we assembled. So why don't we talk about assembling it at the place itself? Assembling in
Indeed.
Suntec.
So yeah, when developing the mimic, there was a slight problem in deciding how exactly to transport it, because I don't think that the MRT will be very accommodating to a 60 by 80 by 1 meter cut box, just riding the train. Pretty sure it wouldn't even fit through the doors or something.
Yeah, it's not like we could just park ourselves in like the handicap wheelchair area.
Yeah, no, it needs to be folded down to size.
Folded
Yeah.
down to size.
Well, that's why we had to bring it in parts to the
Yes.
convention.
But the first day we brought it on a taxi.
Yeah, cause
We're running late
Yeah,
because engineering is time consuming.
I'm sorry, my fault. I have no idea how to plan ahead. Or plan backwards. I am very bad at planning.
With that said, we did manage to bring it over the next 2 days
Mm-hmm.
via the MRT.
Yeah.
All you need to do is bring in parts and assemble it at the venue itself.
Yep.
To which all we did was find our nice little corners
Mm-hmm.
and started constructing the box from the ground up.
Well, we already had the parts. It's more like a constructing a HDB flat.
It's more like one of those prefab houses that are going for $10,000 in another country.
10,000? You sure it's not a few hundred grand here? Wait, what? Anyways,
Aside from that snide remark about property prices in Singapore, yeah, I think it's fair to say that zip ties were the absolute MVP for this AFA for us.
indeed, I didn't know about the magic of zip ties until
Yeah, I could use it to tie my wig's hair.
yeah.
Who would have
Speaking-
known? But-
Unfortunately, you still had to go find some rubber bands.
Yeah, of course I had to find some rubber bands, but the zip ties,
Zip ties.
they were very, very useful.
And very sharp.
Yes, my head still hurt. We zip tied every single plank on top of the lid together so that they would have greater structural integrity. And then we snipped the ends, and the ends were poking to my head whenever I stood inside the chest.
Yes, very sharp indeed. I think I got cut by them.
Yeah, it's funny how like the only cut I actually sustained over the past 3 days was cut when I was trying to cut some rope, and then I slashed myself on a knife due to sheer stupidity.
Yeah, thank God that only we were affected by the structural hazards that was the mimic chest.
Yeah, for all the puncture holes that were sticking out in public, I'm surprised no one got hurt.
Well, it was intentional that no one got hurt. We made
Yes.
many safety adjustments to the mimic so that no one got hurt.
Yeah, like those desk corner protectors.
Yeah.
A lot of hot glue on sharp edges.
Mhm. Don't
We
we?
took
Be careful.
we took the absolute utmost considerations to ensure that only other people will be hurt.
Wait,
except
what?
us. What?
Wait, what?
What?
I think you mixed that up.
Ensure that absolutely no one else will get hurt
Except us. Yes.
Wasn't that what I said?
No, I think you mixed that up.
No.
Anyways.
The only thing that was going to get hurt was the chest, us, and your emotional damage.
Yes, I definitely felt that.
Yeah, with that said, let's just say the engineering for the Mimic was not very good. And would you like to recount what happened on day one?
Yes. So, originally the plan was to have the Mimic finish constructed on the first day, but owing to a lack of foresight, seeing as I had an exam on the week of AFA itself,
Yes.
which left me only 2 days to construct the Mimic,
Understandable.
and me having no idea how to do construction or arts and craft,
Okay.
left me with a big problem.
What's the problem?
The Mimic was not done.
Okay, aside from that fact,
Yeah.
what happened at AFA again?
Alright, the breakdowns. So
The
many
breakdowns. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
So remember how the metal was not sturdy?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know it was gonna be that unreliable. I thought it would be a bit more reliable than me, but
Yeah.
surprises can happen, I guess.
Yeah. But if I were to provide a very quick recap for the audience. On day one, the metal started warping backwards where we mounted it on ourselves with the luggage straps as the
Yep.
makeshift back straps. So when we went back to my place, which is where we're filming this episode right now, we reinforced only the back.
Right, I mean, that's where the failure happened.
Yeah,
so
that's where all the warping happened, right? The front was
Yeah.
actually 100% intact from day one.
surprisingly nothing happened there.
Yeah, so we did not reinforce the front, and I entertained this really fantastic idea of applying a bracing measure on the bottom side, or the bottom metal pieces of the frame.
Right.
In which on day two, while standing up, you accidentally stepped on that part, and the top frame was adjusted to be the luggage straps.
Yeah.
So now the front plate distorted downwards.
Well, to be fair, it is very cramped and quite dark in there,
Yeah.
and my legs were sleeping, so
Yeah, so it
very bad
distorted
plan.
downwards. And
Yeah.
after distorting downwards, we had to, camp in the same spot
Yeah.
for the sake of preserving the chest structural integrity. And then we upgraded even further.
Yeah. Well, at least the crowd was very heavy, so us camping in the same spot wasn't really that much of a problem because everyone just walked past anyway.
Yeah. Rather than that, we actually then upgraded the front by reinforcing the top and bottom bars, and then I made the bottom braces detachable. Yes, so that sums up like how we upgraded the Mimic from a level 1 scrubby Mimic on day 1 that was half constructed into what's plausibly a level 69 Mimic on day 3, which was very useful for attracting all the little kids to get some free
Right.
candy.
Yes, that was the free candy. But yeah, those were actually added on day 2 itself, the extra content.
Yes, before we get into the extra content, why don't we get to trying this whiskey right here on the rocks?
Yes, why don't we?
Alright, Ben. Beam me up. Get me some of this Tory classic on the rocks.
Oh, you asked for it. You asked for it. You freaking asked for it. Oh my god. It is so unwieldy.
Yes.
No. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. That seems like I might be going home stumbling tonight.
Hardly. It's so weak. Alright. Let's give it a shot. Cheers, mate.
Cheers. I'm expecting it to be a bit weaker than.
Even weaker.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be mixed with water, so I expect it to be weaker. Well, there's absolutely no smell now.
Yeah, if anything, it feels like the alcohol, the varnish, nail polish remover taste you're talking about has just been amplified.
The cheap alcohol taste.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's.
Now I can't even taste flavors.
It is very, 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 very light. It is just alcohol.
Yeah.
Oh well.
And
Perhaps only-
70% of the Loch Lomond is in here, man.
What's the other 30%? Freaking water.
It's not enough to be straight fire, so it's probably enough to just be mild fire. No taste.
Yeah, it's not even for the memes of it. Just don't get this.
Yeah. It's a mistake.
It was a mistake.
A big
indeed.
mistake.
Yes, 2.7 liters of mistake right there.
Well, hopefully, if the mixers that we're going to be trying out next is going to be, well, sweeter than what we could expect it to be.
Yeah, at least it'll be something that is portable.
Yeah. After all, the mixers that we're going to be using are 1. Our classic Coke Zero.
Mm-hmm.
2. Ginger ale
Mm-hmm.
for that little bite that comes with the ginger.
Mm-hmm.
And thirdly, we're going to go with no sugar added orange juice by Sunkist.
Ah, so that was the interesting mixer that you were mentioning.
Yes, because tonic water was clearly a mistake.
I would beg to differ. It depends on the drink, I guess. But
So you want to add water to what already tastes like water.
perhaps not this specifically, not this instance, but
Perhaps something that is like really spiced will make a difference, but
Yeah,
this is
perhaps.
just
this is just
disappointing.
alcohol with water. If you get ethanol and you dilute it with water to 20%, you'll probably get this.
Maybe add a bit of oolong tea for the coloring.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That probably concludes the Suntory Tory's Classic on the rocks.
Yes. Alright, with that disappointment out of the way,
So Ben, now I have a very important question to ask you.
shit, can I get back to the disappointment?
Sure, of course. Have a sip, maybe 2. Drink the entire thing. But with that said, I want to ask, how did we start giving out free candy to little kids?
Right. Free candy. Well, as anyone who met us during AFA should know, we have a sign that says free candy.
Amidst
Among
a bunch
others.
of other signs.
Yeah. I think there was something about free loot and liking big chests. And
Loot's inside, there's a free loot inside. Then we have everyone loves big chests, which is just a universal truth.
Mhm.
And then we also have the sign that says a free 30 quartz, so that I could bait the very scarce number of Fate cosplayers in.
surprisingly scarce number of fit cosplayers.
Yeah, if anything, we should just be a sign that said free Primo Gems, and
Yeah.
then all the Genshin cosplayers will be flocking to us.
Yeah. Well, I think I forgot on the day itself that there was supposed to be a sign that said free cake.
No cake inside, man.
The
We
cake
are
is
we're all cake enjoyers here, but we didn't have free cake.
The cake is a lie.
Yes.
Yeah, anyways.
But the free candy is real.
Yeah, the free candy is real, but where did the free candy come from? So,
My wallet.
well, our wallet.
Our
Rashid. No, anyways. So yeah, the free candy is supposed to be a meme of the white van or inconspicuous van with free candy written on the side, used to lure people in for God knows what. But
Yeah, apparently I didn't even know this, but Ben does. So
I think it's just a cultural difference. It's like you should never receive free candy. You should never take free candy from a stranger.
oh, we have people tell us that, and not just in one language.
Yeah.
There are people who are like, no, my mom told me to not take free candy from strangers. Then there are people who are like, oh, 我爸爸妈妈叫我不要拿糖果.
Yeah, but
that works too.
apparently some of them never received this message. So, it's a
And
learning.
there are some people who just love taking free candies from
Yeah,
strangers.
so it's a learning experience for everyone. But yeah, so that's where the meme came from, and free candy in an inconspicuous chest. What's there to question? It is just a chest with free candy. Why not just come over and take some free candy?
Yeah, all you have to do is knock.
Yeah, touch the big chest.
Exactly.
But yeah, speaking about touching the big chest, I was wondering, where do you come up with the idea of, would you like to touch my big chest?
Well, aside from the fact that it sounds like a really blatant sexual innuendo,
Yeah, I thought as much.
yeah, everyone we need to find a way, right, to bring people in.
Mm-hmm.
So what better way to bring people in than to ask people to actually approach the trap?
Fair enough.
Exactly. So all I had to do was to very conspicuously, in my white lab coat, walk up to people who were looking in our general direction and say, hey, you seem really interested in my really big chest.
Yes.
So would you like to touch my really big chest? There happens to be free candy inside.
Well,
And there were quite a lot of people who came by.
yes, interestingly, a lot of people would actually like to touch the very big chest.
Yes, of course.
A disturbing amount of people. Yes.
Not just the really big chest, but also really big chest.
That really big chest.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure that everyone walked away satisfied.
Of course. But you want to know who would have been the most satisfied?
Ooh, pray tell.
It would have been the Anya cosplayers.
Oh, shit.
Aside from the fact that Spy X Family is season 2 is airing,
Mm-hmm.
we also gave out a special little treat to some of the Anya cosplayers who were walking by, following their Yor or Lloyd other causes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they tend to come in a group.
Yeah, for all the Anya cosplayers, we gave out free peanuts.
Yeah, the perfect bait for the unsuspecting little psychic. Surprising that they didn't find out it was a mimic sooner, but what can you do?
Maybe Anya is just too young to actually know what a mimic is.
Yeah, they don't know what the white truck in the corner actually wants to do.
Yeah.
Send someone isekaiing.
If
but,
anything, I actually succeeded in sending a Yor cosplayer to find Anya cosplayer.
Oh wow, that is the accomplishment indeed.
That is the accomplishment indeed. So that pretty much rounds up our philanthropic acts.
Indeed, but it doesn't stop there.
Yes,
It's not exactly just our philanthropic acts.
Of course.
How the currency circulates, man.
Yes, money changes hands.
Indeed. Now, speaking of which, we actually receive plenty of candy from surprising sources. Yes.
Stranger things. Indeed.
Stranger things, indeed.
We got a lot of weird things that got thrown inside the chest.
What, the mushroom?
The mushroom that we gave away to a Timo cosplayer?
Indeed. How fitting that it should go to a Timo cosplayer.
Yeah.
Burn the heretic. But anyways.
Yes, but not just a mushroom. I received a grenade.
Indeed, we all receive a grenade. I guess it's just customary to throw a grenade into a hole sitting on the floor.
Not a hole, a chest.
A chest
And no
opened up with a
one was
hole.
singing "I'll catch a grenade for ya."
Nah, I'm not gonna catch the grenade, man.
Yeah,
They can search the chest for the grenade themselves, but
Yeah, they got their grenades back.
Yeah.
The mimic is pretty kind.
yeah.
With that said, we also did get like a bunch of different currencies.
Mhm,
We actually
right.
got like Genshin coin prop.
Yeah, surprisingly very well made.
Yeah.
Props. I don't know who I can't remember who exactly gave it to us, but props, man, that is sick.
That's a good coin.
Yeah, that's a good coin. We're gonna cherish it, man.
Yeah. Not only that, we're also planning on buying like a whole bunch of chocolate coins to lure in more little kids. But someone actually did give us chocolate coins.
Yeah, exactly. It is a actual treasure.
I think someone also threw in a London Choco Roll in a very nice little goodie backpack.
Yeah, speaking of which, actually, that didn't come while we were in the cosplay. I think one packet came while we were in the chest.
They threw at me.
Yeah, well, that they threw at you specifically. But the other packet, there were two packets. Let me remind you.
There were.
Yeah, one of them came when it was thrown at you. The other came when actually we went for lunch.
So when the insides were now outside.
Indeed, surprisingly, that sign did very well on its own. I don't even know how, but the mimic costume without us inside actually gained people just wanting to take photos. I don't know why, I don't know how, but
It worked out.
yeah, it worked out.
We had one person who didn't take a single photo of any cosplayers in AFA. And then they took the photo of the empty mimic with the sign saying that the insides were outside and tagged us.
Yeah, I that is an absolute win. I can only see that as an absolute win.
I see that as an absolute win too.
Yeah, wow,
There's
man.
no other way to say it.
But yeah, that's kind of half the reason for the mimic. It works on its own.
Yes, but do you know what else worked?
What else?
The fact that we had a trap.
Oh,
in a trap!
shit! A trap in a trap?
Yes.
What the heck?
You remember how on day one I was just walking around looking for fake cosplayers?
Yeah, the fake cosplayers. Well,
They were very scarce. All I found, to my absolute dismay, were nothing more than Astolfos.
Are you sure it's dismay?
Absolute dismay.
Alright, I shall take your word on that. But yeah, there were a lot of Astolfo players, cosplayers out there.
Players, wow. But
But yeah,
for
you
the
know,
sake of content,
Mhm.
we did manage to convince someone on day one
indeed,
to walk into the treasure chest
indeed,
to become a trap within a trap.
yes. How fitting that a trap be in the trap.
Exactly, yeah. It's not just one person. I'm quite sure on day 3 there we also managed to recruit yet another trap.
Indeed, we got another trap in the trap. Well,
Yes.
2 traps in the trap.
Yes. Some stuck their heads inside, but some actually got inside again.
No, not just our Stofos, we also got the spy.
Yes. We got the blue spy
Indeed.
from Team Fortress 2 for those who are, well, not as old as us.
Yeah. The spy from Team.
And very funnily, that blue spy was also, he was wearing the disguise as Spy X Family characters.
Indeed, how fitting.
How fitting that a
Well-
spy would be inserting himself into Spy X Family.
Indeed. Well, they apparently have more foresight than me.
Yep, that is very much true. But you know what we actually wanted?
Oh yeah, we actually wanted the Among Us folk.
The Among Us.
Indeed, there were actually a decent amount of Among Us. I wouldn't say there were a lot. I think
There
I
were
saw,
some, there were
yeah.
some, but in particular there was the 4 Among Uses.
Indeed. Well, we wanted to get them with the Astolfo in the trap, so it will be a trap in the trap with a trap.
Yes.
But you know, the Among Us costume is slightly unwieldy.
Yeah, it's
And-
like a massive turkey.
Yeah, it's a massive balloon, and I fear that if it gets into the trap, it might explode. But
Yeah, definitely wouldn't be eaten. Sent to the Shadow
Yeah.
Realm.
it will disappear. But yeah, speaking of the Among Us,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember on the last day, I tried to follow them as part of the stalking behavior of the mimic. You know how mimics randomly appear behind people?
Yes, it was a very class solid snake act that you were trying to pull off.
Yeah, but it was torture for
To
me.
the absolute suffering of your legs.
Yeah, and duck walking
Because-
behind people walking at a decent pace.
Because you skip legs.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
plenty of exercise for me who has missed out on plenty.
Yep.
Can't say that it was enjoyable, but you know, for the memes.
Yes, of course. But then again, with that said, do you know who else was not suspecting a trap?
Ooh, who else?
The security guards.
Oh shit! Damn man, that was something else. So yeah.
Yeah, in a place where people are bringing around in public gigantic swords, scythes, unsheathing them in public.
yeah, guns.
No one
Holy
decided.
shit.
Yeah, guns. No one decided to check the treasure chest that happened to have 2 knives in it.
Yeah, what the heck, man? It's a gigantic treasure chest walking into the hole.
Yeah,
That's-
I mean, knives and swords make pretty good loot, don't they?
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's why the mimic got into the hall and was successfully terrorizing people,
Indeed.
threatening to stab them with some plastic knives.
But to be fair, props to the security guards. They actually wanted to search us.
yes,
Well, maybe it was a joke by one guy, but you know.
kudos to them.
Kudos to them, man. Search the treasure chest. That is a very good idea.
Yes, always raid the booty.
Yes, always rate that
Leave
sweet
no
booty.
loot unpillaged. Yes.
But yeah, props to the staff. You know, they
Yes.
they actually went with the cosplay.
Yeah, they actually went along with the act.
Yeah,
pretty
man. Even the staff scanning the passes were quite interested in the cosplay.
Of course. But you want to know what else was more amusing?
What else?
It's how I got hair ties.
Oh yeah. Right. Free sweets and hair ties.
What do you think I did to get my hair ties for my little Shen Oolong the Connector cosplay?
I am afraid that specific story may get us arrested.
No, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
All right, please.
All I did was to take some free candy
Mm-hmm.
and offer a fair trade.
Yes.
Everyone
Offering
loves
trade.
fair trades.
Yeah,
All
of
I did
course.
was traded some free candy for 2 hair ties, of which they still happen to be on this table,
Mm-hmm.
in order to ensure that my wig would fall off my head even easier than it did with the hair tie. Not with the hair tie, but with the zip tie.
Yes. Well, to be fair, they got a better trade than most of the others who got their souls taken. But
Yeah, they even got more candy than usual.
yeah, what the heck, man?
Well, with that said, the hair tie really did save my life, because what happened afterwards is that we went inside the convention hall, and then we went into this little Polaroid booth.
Yes, a Polaroid booth.
Yes, a Polaroid booth. I think you don't remember it because, well, the only thing that remains of you inside that picture were your hands.
Yeah, it's that one hand. Surprisingly, it is very hard to take a picture with a gigantic chest.
Yeah, we were actually trying to finagle like how to fit the two cosplayers, myself and the really big chest, into the photo frame.
I don't think they expected it either, but you know, a fast pass for the gigantic chest.
Yeah,
Worth it.
we just bounced straight to the front.
Yeah, worth it.
Absolutely worth it. I have absolutely nothing else to say. It is the purest representation of who I could act of the character I was portraying, Shen Oolong, the connector. They got the beer, they got the sign, they got the intro nameplate thingy.
Yeah,
They got my really screwed up hair.
that's all they needed to get, man.
That
And the
was
side clip
absolutely all they needed.
and the side clip of the chest. That's all that's necessary.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh
With
man.
that said, on day one, do you happen to remember a particular incident?
Oh yeah, man, that was weird to say the least.
Yes, it wasn't me reading manga inside the treasure chest. No.
Yeah, it was. I remember it being a very weird experience with a Kirito cosplayer. I mean, I guess that would be the cosplay character that would be the weirdest. But yeah, I got held up for a good half an hour.
Don't say held up. Let's just say that he was enjoying the really big chest
He was
for a really long
indeed
time.
enjoying the really big chest, trying to smite me, and
Yes.
getting it all on camera.
Yes. So please, if you happen to have more, well, videos, pictures of that, of us, or rather of Ben suffering inside the chest, please share it on Instagram and tag us.
Indeed. Well, to be fair, I did not expect the chest to be that heavy. The linoleum added so much weight, and then carrying it around for a full day actually is very, very painful. I did not expect my legs to hurt so much, and I'm surprised I was able to walk to my exam hall today. Much
Why,
less
yes.
write the exam.
After all, you probably did, I don't know, maybe about 100 plus squats over the past 3 days.
100
Every single
plus
time you stood up to scare someone.
Indeed.
Yes, but hey, speaking of IG,
Mhm.
there is one person that we would like to, well, thank for his support during the second day.
Indeed.
Well, support is probably not the right term. It's more for a very good act of self-inserting as well as promotion for us.
Indeed.
Yes, it was our Joker, the Persona 5 Joker,
Indeed.
who decided to help us invite more little children into touching this really big absolutely not sus
Yeah,
chest
Absolutely not sus. It is just a chest.
to get some free candy.
Free candy.
So
No one
yes,
can say no to free candy.
if you are following us and watching this episode in particular, do reach out to us. We would like to tag you to give you a nice little shout out for whatever you've done to help us over day 2.
Exactly. And please do not call the cops because we are accomplices and we will drag you down with it.
Exactly. Now then, I hope you enjoyed your Guinness that you had as your payment for helping us out.
Alright. Speaking
Alright.
of alcohol,
Yes.
should we
why
get
not?
to our final taste test?
Of course. Let us go to the third part of our whiskey review, which is having our whiskey with a mixer.
Hopefully it will be as satisfying as our experience at AFA. Well, not really, because this is very disappointing as on its own. So
Yeah, it's hard to match the sheer amount of fun we had over the past 3 days.
yeah, man, it was great.
Yeah. Alright, with that said, I think it's time. Alright, I think it's time for me to juice us up.
Indeed.
Okay, let's start. Unlike you, I always ensure that I pour us a very, well, fair amount of whiskey.
Indeed, but a fair amount this time may be
Insufficient?
Yeah.
No, absolutely no way.
I fear that what I may drink this time will be just slightly alcoholic Coke.
Well, that would have been the case for at least 3 or 4 episodes.
Fair enough.
But if that's it, which one do you want to? Which one do you look forward to the most?
Honestly,
Yeah.
the orange juice. I have no idea how it will turn out, but yeah, that is interesting and that is meme-worthy content.
No, orange juice is a very reasonable mixer.
Yeah, but you know,
Yes.
it is not something that I would expect as a common mixer, so
No.
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 Well, hopefully there's definitely enough.
Of course, that's enough. You might be just drinking slightly alcoholic orange juice for what it's worth.
Yeah, fair enough.
So this here is the ginger ale, and then Coke will be at the center. Since you're looking forward to the orange juice the most, I poured it first so that we can start from the most outside to the most inside.
Indeed. Well, if you followed us and you're not of drinking age, please wait until you are of drinking age.
Right.
Right, cause
Right.
free candy attracts more than just the people eligible to drink. So
Also, for those of you who are of a religion that does not condone the drinking of alcohol, I apologize, and I've already mentioned that we are very haram. Yes.
all right.
That's it, Ben. Why don't we get to trying out the Suntory Tory's Classic with mixers?
With the mixers.
Yes, with the mixers.
Well,
Let's start with orange juice.
hopefully it will be slightly more drinkable than it being.
Alright. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Maybe I swish it around a little bit, get the alcohol spread out.
Sure. This is a very small cup, and I fear the swishing around.
No, it's probably a half-size beer mug.
Half size.
Half size.
All right.
It's just alcoholic orange juice.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the whiskey itself doesn't have any distinct flavors. Not smoky, not particularly sweet,
Yeah.
not exactly stringent, you know. Nothing that stands out. So if you mix it, I guess you'll just get slightly alcoholic mixed.
It's just orange
Drinks.
juice with a burn.
Yeah. Nah. I mean, I guess if you intend to drink the drink with a slight hint of alcohol just to get drunk, yeah, go ahead, I guess.
I mean,
You know.
it's definitely something you can pound back.
Yeah, there's plenty of better stuff, but if you're on a actually not even
No,
if you're on
not
a
a
budget,
budget.
this was not cheap. This cost 200.
200 plus.
Yeah, it's not cheap alcohol. It's slightly disappointing. You know,
It's
there's
218 for a 2.7 liter bottle.
yeah, there's plenty of better stuff that you can go for. It's not worth the meme.
Yeah. Alright. Let's hope the next one would be slightly less disappointing.
Yeah, I shall try that before I pound down this orange juice.
Alright.
Cheers.
Cheers. This is ginger ale.
Ginger ale. Much the same.
It actually just tastes like ginger ale.
Yeah.
I
The
can't
alcohol?
even can't get the alcohol.
Nah, it makes it a bit more bitter.
Like, I'm barely getting the alcoholic taste from it.
I guess there's a slight hint of bitterness that might come from the whiskey itself.
No.
Not really. Well, it's really just there's no hit, like there may be a slight hint. I may be wrong, but it's definitely not standing out.
Yeah, it's like one of those tutorial hints that are not even meant to help you. It's like, oh, press arrow keys to move when you're really
Yeah,
pressing
exactly.
the arrow keys to move.
Man, what a useful freaking hint indeed. That's
Yeah.
right. Check the chest, definitely.
It's
Check
like
the chest.
walking to the sign that says use arrow keys to move by using your arrow keys to move to that sign.
Yeah, walk up to the sign that says check the treasure chest in front of the treasure chest that you checked.
What the heck, man?
Check the treasure chest, guys. Mimics are fake. They can't hurt you.
Of course, the mimic is not real.
Alright. Down to the final one.
The final one. Alright, Coke, our
Cheers.
classic. Cheers. Slightly
Coke
alcoholic Coke, here I come.
Well, what can I say?
I think it's just making the Coke taste bad.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the nail polish cheap alcohol taste definitely comes through. Surprisingly, the somewhat hidden cheap alcohol taste that I tasted in the ginger ale definitely comes out more in this. It's like a bitter, somewhat
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just bitter Coke with
Yeah.
mild alcohol taste. But it
Not-
still tastes of like 90% Coke.
not the right idea, but if you're looking for something in bulk, still don't buy this.
Yeah, agreed. 100%. You're probably better off with beer.
Yeah, but you're better off with beer.
Beer, soju, sake, anything else goes.
Man, there's plenty of other whiskeys that we have reviewed before that has better results with Coke.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
Any of the Kyushu cowboys would impart this very sweet honey flavor to Coke.
exactly.
This very caramel flavor of Coke makes it like vanilla Coke, but without the artificial flavorings. Now just
Exactly.
alcoholic flavoring.
It tastes so much better with any of the other alcohols that don't even come close to the price point.
Yeah,
Like Jim Beam.
yeah. Jim Beam, classic, just like Jack Daniels,
Yeah,
classic.
exactly. Anything else? Like legit, just get anything else. Even for a meme, this was not worth it. We did it for the memes because it was a 2.7 liter bottle, and since we were gonna do a mimic for AFA, might as well just go with the meme, go all the way with the meme. But even for that, the mimic was way more of a better investment than this.
Yeah, Ben, you know what? I think we might actually need some help with this bottle over here.
Yeah, it appears that 2.7 liters may be a bit difficult to down between two people over the course of one night.
Yeah,
It just appears.
yeah.
Perhaps possible, but I do not want to find out.
I think we're gonna need to find some way of disposing of this, or to dispose of this. With that said, dear viewer, perhaps in the near future, there will be a chance for you to partake in this very light spirit over here. This weak 37% alcohol, non-considered whiskey in the EU whiskey
Yeah.
over here.
Unfortunately, I would not like to subject anyone else to this whiskey, but we have to clear it somehow.
Yes, aside from tricking people into thinking it's oolong tea, I do think that there are opportunities for future content. However, what we need is your help in order to ensure that we have the sufficient clout and viewership to get rid of this entire bottle, not by pouring it down the drain, but by having it drunk.
Indeed, we are only a sports science student and a sociology student,
Don't say that. Even my intake from army who saw me at AFA already claimed that I graduated.
Wait, what?
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 Yeah, so many more perspectives will be very welcome to this podcast.
Yes, we are looking forward to having more, guests. Aside from Nikki, who we met at AFA on day 2.
Indeed. Well, hopefully
On this
we didn't
podcast.
traumatize her little sister, but it is a mimic with free candy, so free candy it shall be.
Yes. That's it. I think this is almost a wrap for our Suntory Tory Classic review.
Oh.
Ben, on a scale
Yes.
of 1 to 10, what would you rate this whiskey?
Haha! If I would put a point on the scale,
Be generous. Be generous.
be very generous indeed. Well, 3.
3?
3?
I was going for 4.
Wow, that is very generous.
Yeah.
Even for a party drink, this is a very big disappointment. Especially for its price point. Like, you can get a Jim Beam for like $40 for
Hell,
700
you don't even
ml.
need whiskey. You don't even need whiskey. You could probably get any other drink and enjoy
you
it
could-
more than this. At
This-
lower price points.
Tastes like cheap vodka.
These are nothing. Don't
No,
say that.
it
Cheap
has-
vodka is better than this. Absolute is better
Cheap
than this.
No, even cheaper than Absolute. It tastes,
Storage Naya is better than this.
dude. They both smell like nail polish remover.
The
so,
only equivalent to this would be what? Red Square. That's
Right.
about it.
well, it is disappointing to say the least. Well,
I don't know what else to say, but this is a
Yeah.
wrap for our whiskey review.
A very
of the
disappointing rep.
Suntory Tory starts it.
Yes. Now, let's get on with the content.
Let's get out the content.
Alright.
So Ben, now that we have spent the past half an hour off camera talking about absolutely nothing related to anime, but rather on League of Legends and sociology.
And this coin.
And this little coin. So why don't we go back to AFA and what happens once we took the chest off?
Yes. Having to haul it back to your place every night.
Aside from that mild point, because we did that for the sake of upgrading, why don't you talk about what happened when we wrapped up our activities on day 3, aka the only day where we managed to enter the hall?
Indeed. So, well, to be fair, this year was very packed.
I think only day 2 was very packed. Day 3 was actually surprisingly fine once I went in.
Well, it was more... Honestly, it was more packed than any other day 3 that I've been to. But, yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. So, Ben, what happened after we dismantled the mimic? Or rather, not say dismantled, but we left it with the sign that said the insides are not outside, but for the con.
Yeah, the whole purpose of AFA is to look at, the exhibitions that are available in the FA, but unfortunately during day 1 and day 2, the crowds and our commitments were a bit too much, so day 3 was
Day
the
3
only
was
day.
it?
Yeah.
Day 3 was it?
Unfortunately for me, I didn't find much that I was interested in. I guess for you
So?
it was different.
Do you not visit the artist alley?
I mean, I did, but I didn't purchase that much. Honestly, the expenditure that was encountered during this AFA specifically was significantly less than I expected.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it might have been a slightly different story.
Yeah.
Yeah, fitting around the coin was not a very bright decision.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Surely you visited the artist alley, right?
Yes, I did.
Yes. Do you buy any art?
Yes, I did. But to be fair, during the day 3 convention itself, from my experience, I guess there was a significant disappearance, I guess. Lack of absence.
Lack of.
Yeah, of the what we would call the
Yeah.
what was it again? The coupon, what was it?
Gachapons.
No, not gachapons. It's the okay. So there is in the previous AFAs there was this booth specifically dedicated to the tikam tikam. Are you familiar with the tikam tikam?
Not exactly. Are you sure
So-
it's not one of those gacha machines?
No. So essentially you reach into a box with a bunch of tickets, and based on the tickets you get the price associated with the level of ticket.
I don't know. It sounds like gacha to me.
No, it's so there's a fixed set of prizes that you can win, and based on the tickets that you draw, you get a specific prize. The specific terminology escapes me for now, cause Kuji, yeah, that. So that booth, I did not find.
Well, that is most unfortunate.
Yes, indeed, and I was hoping for some Monogatari Kujis, cause they were available in the previous years.
Huh.
So that was one of the expectations that I had. The Angel Beats booth, I guess I didn't really.
Wait, there's an Angel Beats booth.
Yeah, every year they have there is a booth that
By
highlights
what? By
the,
Key?
They have arts by Pikato Animation. It's a booth that specifically has Angel Beats merch.
Just Angel Beats merch.
Yeah, specifically Angel Beats. I am a very big fan of the Key Studios.
Let's tangent a little. Who's your favorite Angel Beats character?
Tenshi.
Tenshi.
Period.
Tenshi.
Yeah, Tenshi.
Tenshi?
Yeah,
Really?
really.
Okay then.
Yeah, but specifically that booth, I guess there wasn't really I don't know what it was, but perhaps it's just the last day kind of deal, you know. And I think it
Most
was cheaper.
unfortunate.
Yeah, to be perfectly honest, the exhibition was slightly disappointing for me. I didn't really find much worth purchasing. I mean, there were a few like what was it again? What's the Disney collab with Square Enix?
What? Frozen?
No, not the Disney collab with Square Enix series of
Dragon Quest Heroes Rocket Slime?
no. Shit, it escapes me because I am very inebriated.
Mega Man?
No. It's something to do with key swords. Key
Final
blades.
Fantasy?
Keyblades.
Final Fantasy?
Final Fantasy X Disney. That series of games. It escapes me right now because I'm very inebriated, but there were a few artworks dedicated to that.
Right.
Yeah. Let me search it up. Give
Oh,
me a
so
sec.
this is one of those typey moments.
Yes, typey.
Well, while you're typing away, I can tell you about what I did when I was in the exhibition after dismantling the mimic. When I was inside the exhibition, the first thing I did was, or rather once I was done cosplaying, I visited my favorite big chest enjoyers, the artist from Metronome. And of course, being a fellow big chest enjoyer, I got myself some artworks regarding big chests.
Right, cause big chest was a theme for this AFA.
Well, I asked several people whether flat is justice or Opa is life, and
yes,
apparently
whether
the
traps are
majority.
gay.
Whether no. That's a universal truth. But besides that, I asked them whether Opa is life and whether flat is justice, and the consensus happens to be more along the lines of like, let's enjoy everything that is available. And I agree with that metric, although the people from Metronome only produce things related to, well, big chess.
Right.
Aside from that, I also went around like almost every single booth, asking for the absolute gayest Jujutsu Kaisen art because, well, understandably, they were a gift for a friend.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
absolutely, 100% they were a gift for a friend. So I did manage to get some, well, art related to several Jujutsu Kaisen characters, namely Gojo, Geto, and Sukuna. Aside from that, I think there was a particular, what's it called it? There's a booth by the male wife artist. I don't know.
I think so. Yeah.
No other way to describe them. They did give me a little freebie for asking them that particular question. Like, oh hey, who do you think is the gayest Jujutsu Kaisen artist available?
That is simply amazing.
It might have been them. I don't know, but they did give me a freebie, so I think it's only appropriate to give
Shout
them
them
a
out.
mention.
Yeah.
Aside from that, also went around the entire exhibition. There were, well, some guys tried to sell me green tea, but considering how much I already have at home, yeah, I opted not to buy any of them. Then I did visit this particular booth. It's by the video game designers of a game called Peckham. You know, the Pokemon move Peck.
Right.
And then
okay.
like Pick'em
Yeah. Right.
So Peckham, it's kind of like a fighting game, brawler.
Right. I think you mentioned how you got your ass kicked by the developers.
Yeah, so apparently there were only two classes, if I remember correctly. It's like a mage and a samurai, and then I chose a samurai because, you know, swords are pretty manly.
Yeah.
And then let's just say I lost 2 games in a row.
Yeah, range is definitely
Next time I think I would pick what the developers are picking rather than trying to go off the beaten road.
of course. So speaking of the stuff that I purchased. Yeah, unfortunately I have not kept up with the current anime season, which is specifically Spy X Family and Genshin and that kind of stuff.
Genshin is not an anime.
Yeah, but you know, most of the artworks sold were Genshin related.
True.
Yeah, so unfortunately I'm not a very big fan of the recent
Yeah, I've kept up with a different kind of Genshin artworks, perhaps a bit
Yeah.
more adult ones, but that's beside the point.
No, I was a bit disappointed with the selection provided by the develop the what is it,
Artists.
content creators
Artists.
artist section.
Artists.
Yeah, but there were a few. Specifically the Kingdom Hearts artwork. Surprisingly,
Kingdom
Them-
Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts.
Was
yes.
that the particular?
Yes,
brand
Disney
franchise?
X Square Enix.
I see. I see.
Yeah, so the Kingdom Hearts, I mean, they did come up with a game recently. I think it was in the past year, Kingdom Hearts 3.
Okay.
So, I'm sure you're not familiar with it,
I
but
don't
yeah.
play Kingdom Hearts. I'm more of a Fire Emblem guy, but that's perhaps in 2012, 2008.
Yeah, but
that
Kingdom
range.
Hearts was a very big series, and I was glad that there were plenty of, well, I wouldn't say plenty, but there were a decent amount, and that's what got my interest.
I see.
Yeah, unfortunately, the rest were a bit too risque for my liking.
Risque.
I mean,
Really?
dude, freaking Jinx with big boobs, nah.
Yeah.
I am not. I prefer my artwork.
More
to be-
authentic to the source material.
Yeah, and displayable.
Displayable?
Displayable.
Displayable? You mean like the art I have on my wardrobe?
No, not that displayable. I prefer to have stuff like, the stuff that you would be able to find while digging through, like trash, like the stuff that you have to dig through at Akiba.
I see. That's
Yeah.
very M18 of you, but
No,
okay.
not M18. I found a very decent artwork of what was it, Hyoka? In
Hyoka.
Akiba. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah, but no.
wrapping up the artists, Eddie. There are two more, I would say, artists that I would
Mhm.
like to perhaps mention.
Indeed.
The first is Vinrio Grave.
Hmm.
His art has always been in my room, as you can see right in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Master, not say master. Ultra Instinct Sign Goku
Mm-hmm.
has always been one of my key fitness motivations.
So
So
FYP.
he's someone Vinro has produced very good artwork in this very intense art style that you would enjoy if you are someone who likes shonen material.
Intense indeed.
And then the other mention I have goes to Dark Kun. Yeah, dark as in very black, very dark.
Yeah.
And Kun as in that suffix you attach to a mob character, like
Right.
Ichigo Kun or something along that line.
Mhm.
Yeah, Dark Kun. So they produce some of the absolutely gayest art that I've ever seen. It would have been very suitable for my present to my friend, but
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, they were out of stock of this alleged Reverse Bunny or Bunny Girl Knights of the Round Table art for Fate Grand Order that I was absolutely looking forward to buying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do think that they produce some very good content, so please hit them up if you would like some very good material.
Right. Well, if I were to shout out any artists,
Yeah.
I guess it would be the booth that gave us free candy, the crocheting booth.
I have absolutely no recollection of the name for that booth, but hey, someone
Right.
did give us free candy.
Indeed. Well, I really appreciate that the artists corner and specifically a few of the content creators actually played along with our mimic costume. And to be fair, I really appreciate everyone that stepped up to interact with us. Like, honestly, that is what made my day. Like, the fact that anyone actually interacted with us, that was what I was going for, and I really appreciate it. Yeah.
I don't know what to say, man. Everyone loves big chests.
Everyone loves big chess indeed.
Yes. But hey, speaking of candy, why don't we get to the final highlight of day 3?
Indeed, after the disassembly of the mimic chess.
Yeah, after we chopped up the mimic, let's
Yes.
just say that, well, we still had an assortment of currency to give out.
Yeah, we received a lot of peanuts from Anya cosplayer.
And we're not just talking about, well, salted peanuts. We're talking about actual groundnuts still stuck in their shell.
Yeah, what the heck, man? Congrats, you all made our day with the assortment of freaking hard-shelled peanuts. What the heck?
Aside from that, there were also like remaining Fruit Plus candies. People gave us more Fruit Plus candies, maybe the ones that we had already given out previously.
How the currency circulates.
Yeah, money changes hands. There's nothing
Indeed.
else I can say. But with that said, one thing that I did notice during our MRT rides was that apparently the lid of the mimic chest costume made a really good table,
Indeed.
albeit a bit low. So what happened was that, hey, we brought along a deck of cards
Uh-huh.
that were Japanese yen currency.
Right, it did indeed look like that.
Yeah, so in a bid to absolutely scam people, what we did was that we asked random individuals to play a game of cards with us to help us get rid of our excess currency,
Right.
aka more free candy and free peanuts.
Indeed.
Yes, with that said, I would say that was quite a fun bunch of games. We actually got quite a number of people who entertained us, or rather entertained me as I walked around with the lid, with a deck of cards, some peanuts, and some sweets lying on top of the lid.
Surprisingly, this was the only instance, I guess, of the house always losing. Because we had to get rid of the excess peanuts.
Just like
and
how
candy.
we talked about in our gambling episode.
Indeed.
Usually, the house always wins.
Yes.
But in this case, just like a bunch of feeding scum, the house always loses.
Indeed, the house
There
always loses.
Absolutely no way I won a game last night.
Indeed, someone won a 3-winning streak against you.
Yeah,
What the heck?
Someone won blackjack 3 times in a row against me.
Well, the house always loses.
Yep, in this case, for the sake of losing, the house always loses.
Indeed.
An absolute travesty, however, one that was absolutely needed.
Indeed. We had to go back for the night without any of the excess loot in hand.
Yeah, think about it. How do you think we actually, well, brought back the mimic costume? Every single night we had to port it back on the train, in pieces, held together by luggage straps, a spit, lick, and a prayer.
Indeed. Blood, sweat, and tears. Wait, what? Alright.
Only your blood, my blood, our sweat, and I don't know, tears of our fallen enemies and people.
Emotional
who were eaten.
damage. Tears.
Yes, emotional damage.
Alright. I think that about rounds up our AFA experience.
Yes.
Right. Well, once again, personally, I would like to thank everyone that approached the chest, from the cosplayers to just, random folk in the convention. Yeah, it really made my day.
Yes, I think it's the people who really make the act entirely worth it.
Indeed.
Otherwise, our little acts of philanthropy would have never, well, paid off. I mean, no one would have, surely no one would have taken free candy from a stranger, especially a chest with white teeth and maybe a tongue sticking out of it.
Indeed.
After all, parents always tell you, never take free candy from strangers.
Yeah, never take candy from strangers, drink responsibly, and yeah.
Yeah, I do think this AFA, after like what, a 3-year hiatus,
Yeah.
has been quite a fruitful experience.
Yeah, it was thoroughly enjoyable.
Yep. Otherwise, I think this rounds up our post-con AFA episode.
Indeed.
Well, it might have been a disappointing whiskey, but it was certainly not a disappointing 3 days at Suntec.
Yeah, we would definitely hope to see more interactions with everyone at AFA in the future.
Let's not lump it to just the AFA members. Let's just say it to whoever was willing to actually purview our content.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that said, I do hope that you would like, follow us, subscribe, hell, maybe even share our content. And with that said, maybe we'll also have a future giveaway, future, I don't know, guest sessions, guest collaborations,
How generous of you.
in order to get rid of our remaining 2 liters of whiskey.
Right.
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 With that said, I hope you enjoyed this episode of us recounting whatever happened over the past 3 days while Ben was suffering inside the box and worrying about studying for his exam that took place today.
Yes, hopefully everyone enjoyed interacting with us.
Yes. That's it. Like, share, and subscribe. And have a good day.
Have a good day, indeed.